Hello everyone, I am Anupam Kumar Singh from Systec Ratibad in Mechanical Engineering Department. A very warm welcome to all of you to this video lecture of mechanical vibration.
Now in this lecture we are going to discuss the dry friction or the Coulomb damping. This is the second damping which we are going to study. In the dry damping or the Coulomb damping, normally this damping occurs due to the frictional force when two mating surface rub each other. So as we can see in this diagram that there are two surfaces. Okay, so this surface of having mass m is moving in this direction. Okay, in this direction over this surface. So in this condition, as we know that the friction force always acts opposite to the direction of the velocity, so it will act in this direction. Okay, the mass of the weight of this body is m into g, and the reaction is r n, normal reaction. So as we know that if we know the normal reaction and we know the the property which is the coefficient of friction between two meeting surfaces, that is denoted by the mu, so we can have the frictional force, so that is the mu into Rn, where mu is the coefficient of friction and Rn is the normal reaction. Where mu is depends upon the two mating surfaces. If the mating surfaces will change, so the value of mu will change. The dependence of mu on the relative rubbing velocity is shown in this diagram. You can see from this diagram that for the lubricated surface, the value of mu gradually increases linearly. Okay, it increases linearly. You can see the diagram, it increases in this way. But for the smooth surface, it is constant throughout the velocity. Whatever the velocity is, the mu will be constant. Means if velocity is decreased or if velocity is increased, in that condition even the mu will be constant. And for the dry friction, when the surface is rough, initially the friction will be little bit higher, but after some time, means after gaining some velocity, the friction value will decrease a little bit and it will be constant then throughout. So in our study we are taking the smooth surfaces, okay, and the dry friction for which the mu is constant. So our case is this. Okay, so we will be considering this case, means we are considering that when the two surfaces are meeting, they are having the smooth surface contact and there is no kind of lubrication, so there is a dry friction. In that condition, the coefficient of mu means coefficient of friction, that is mu, will be constant. So the question is that aspect, means what are the aspect, okay, in which we are interested. So we are interested to determine the frequency of damped oscillation, or you can say vibration. And the second, we are interested in to find out the rate of decay of this vibration, okay, of this vibration, or you can say the oscillations. Okay, so now we are going to derive the relations out of which we will try to find out the frequency, first of all frequency of the damped vibration, and then we will try to find out the rate of decay of this vibration. So this we have already discussed these two aspects in the previous topic, that was the viscous damping, and we have derived the frequency of damped vibration and the rate of decay of the vibration, but that was for the viscous damping. Now the damping is changed. Now the damping is due to the dry friction or the Coulomb damping. So in this condition, the value of the the frequency and the rate of decay will be different than the viscous damping. Okay, now you can see the diagram. There is a spring mass system as shown in this figure, and this is in equilibrium position, means it is in this condition, it is in the static condition, there is no movement, and this mass is capable of sliding on a dry surface. So this is a dry surface, there is a dry surface or the dry contact between this mass and this surface, this mass on which it is sliding, and the coefficient of friction is mu, okay, which is constant, because in this condition we are assuming that the surface is the smooth, surface is dry but it is smooth, and for that the value of mu, okay, means the coefficient of friction between this surface mu will be constant throughout. Fine. In this equilibrium position, the spring is unstretched. So this spring is not stretched right now, and there is no friction force since there is no motion. Okay. Now we are taking this x in this direction. X is positive, so definitely which is the right side, so the left side will be the negative x. Okay, so whatever the displacement will take this side, means the right side will be taken positive, and whatever the displacement will be left side will be taken negative. Similarly, so the x double dot means the acceleration whatever will be in this direction will be taken positive, and the acceleration will be in this direction will be taken negative. Okay, and now we are seeing this two situation. Actually, when it will complete one cycle, so it will complete 4 quarter, and you can say the 2 half, and in this way it will complete the 1 cycle. Okay, how it will complete 1 cycle? First of all, it will move from here. If it is moving first in the right hand direction, so it will move from here, it will go to the extreme position, this is 1 quarter. Then from here it will come to this equilibrium position, this is the 2nd quarter. Then from this equilibrium position it will go to the extreme left side, so it is the 3rd quarter. And when it will come from this position to this position, it will be the 4th quarter. Okay, now the condition of the friction will be different in the different quarter. So we have taken the first 2 quarter in which the mass first is moving from this direction, means this equilibrium position to this direction, okay, means this way. So the velocity is in this direction, in this x direction, and in the second it is returning, but it is in the left side. Okay, it is in the right side of the equilibrium position, but it is in moving in the left direction. In this diagram you can say it is in the right hand direction and it is moving in the right direction. So इसमें जो है ये राइट डायरेक्शन में इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन के और राइट में ही मूव कर रहा है, ये जो है राइट डायरेक्शन में तो है लेकिन लेफ्ट में मूव कर रहा है. बट इन दिस कंडीशन इवन द एक्स विल बी द पॉजिटिव, इवन इन दिस कंडीशन द एक्स विल बी पॉजिटिव, क्योंकि एक्स इसके इधर निगेटिव है, इसलिए इसके इधर क्या होगा, पॉजिटिव होगा, इसलिए एक्सेलरेशंस भी दोनों में क्या होंगे, पॉजिटिव्स होंगे. तो अगर मैं इसको कंडीशन सिचुएशन ए मान लूँ, if the condition this situation is B, so in that condition if I want to have the equation, so how can I derive the equation? So for this A, as we know that when we will draw the free body diagram, okay, so this is mass, okay, this spring force will act in the opposite direction to the motion, and this acceleration force, acceleration will be acting in this direction, and since it is moving in this direction, this x dash dot is in this direction, so the friction force will be in this direction. So the equation what we have will be mx double dot is equal to summation of f in x direction. So the equation can be written as mx double dot, since these are in the opposite direction to the considered positive x, so it would be minus kx and minus f. So we can write it mx double dot plus kx plus f is equal to 0. Or what we can write it, we can change this equation in the form, if we divide by m, so it would be x double dot plus k by m x plus f, since we are dividing by the m, so it would be divided, we have divided this, so it would be f by capital F by m equal to 0. So if we will take the 1 by m out from here, since 1 by m is constant, or you can take the k by m out from here, so here it will remain x, and here it would be f by k, and it would be equal to 0. Now you can see that this x plus f by k, we can consider it x plus f by k, it can be considered as equal to the y. Okay, so if we want to have the x dot, so we will have the y dot, because f by k is constant, so it will be 0, and x double dot would be y double dot. So I can replace x double dot by y double dot, x dot by y dot, and x plus f by k by y. So this equation would be x double dot plus k by m and into, sorry, x double dot can be replaced by y, so y double dot at this place plus k by m, and x plus f by k can be replaced by y is equal to 0. So from here you can see that it is a equation of the simple harmonic motion which we have derived in the unit first, and if by this equation we can say that it is a simple harmonic motion SHM, okay, about y equal to 0. So it is the simple harmonic motion about y equal to 0. It is not the simple harmonic motion about x. So it is very important to note here. And in this condition, if you will see, if you want to find out the frequency, then definitely you can see from this equation that the frequency will be just omega n is equal to root under k by m. Okay, because we know that whatever comes here, it is nothing but the omega n square, that is k by m. So omega n would be root under k by m. So from here we can see that this first quarter, which is going from this equilibrium position to this side, okay, means mass displaced towards right and moving towards right, will have the HM simple harmonic motion with respect to y equal to 0, and in this condition the frequency will be the natural frequency, and the value of the natural frequency is the root under k by m. Now take the second case, when mass is displaced toward right of the equilibrium position and moving towards left. So when we will make the free body diagram of this mass system in this position, so mass is moving in this direction, so the friction force will be in this direction, and since it is in the right hand side of this equilibrium position, so spring will definitely oppose in this direction. Okay, so if the mass from the equilibrium position, if it is in this direction, so spring force will try to oppose it in this direction, whether it is moving in this direction or in this direction, okay, whether it is moving right or left. But if it is in right hand side, so spring force will be in this direction. Similarly, अगर आपका जो मास है वो इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन से इस साइड है, वेदर इट इज मूविंग राइट और लेफ्ट, बट आपका लेफ्ट हैंड साइड है, तो उस कंडीशन में स्प्रिंग फोर्स इस साइड लगेगा. ठीक है. So as we know that in this condition we can write the equation mx double dot is equal to summation of f in positive x direction. So we can write that mx double dot is equal to the forces kx is in this direction, so it is negative, and force f is in the positive hand side. So it can be written as mx double dot plus kx minus f equal to 0. If we will take common m, so it would be x double dot plus k by mx minus f by m equal to 0, or if we will take k by m common from here, so it would be x minus f by k equal to 0. Now we can consider x minus f by k is equal to y. So if we will differentiate this equation, you can say 1 2. So if we will differentiate it with respect to the time, so it would be x dot, the differentiation of f by k would be 0, and the differentiation of y would be y dot, and x double dot would be y double dot. So we can replace x double dot by y double dot plus k by m, and x minus f by k can be replaced by y equal to 0. So again you can see that it is a simple harmonic motion, but this simple harmonic motion is about y equal to 0. So it is a SHM, okay, about y equal to 0, and where y is equal to what? X minus f by k. Even in this condition you can say that the frequency about, if it is about y equal to 0, the frequency is omega n square, can be written as k by m. So omega n is nothing but the root under k by m. So the frequency is the, in this condition, natural. Now in this condition we can see that when the mass is in the right hand direction of the equilibrium position, so the conditions which we have derived are these, and when it will be the left hand side, the condition will be these. So we can have the response curve of this condition, means of the Coulomb damping. So suppose this since as we know that we are getting this as a simple harmonic motion with respect to when y equal to 0, or it is about x plus f by k and x minus f by k. So I have taken this x minus f by k equal to 0 and x plus f by k equal to 0. Okay. Obviously this side will be the x minus f by k. Okay. And this side it would be the x plus f by k. Okay. We are going to have this value. So this is x minus f by k equal to this 0, and this is x plus f by k equal to 0. So suppose initially we have this much of amplitude, and when we will plot this, so it will go like this. It will go up to like this, and it will complete its cycle in this way. Fine. Now here what we can see that the this half cycle from here to here, it is the in the simple harmonic motion with respect to x minus f by k. Means if I have to see the magnitude, so this magnitude and this magnitude is equal. Okay, so we can say that this half cycle is about this x minus f by k equal to 0. So we can say that this simple harmonic motion, this SHM simple harmonic motion, is about x minus f by k equal to 0. And this simple harmonic motion, if you will see, so this magnitude is equal to this magnitude, and this simple harmonic motion, half simple harmonic motion, is about x plus f by k equal to 0. So this simple harmonic motion, this first cycle is not being at x equal to 0. Fine, it is being x minus f by k equal to 0. So you can see the condition when it is having the maximum amplitude in the positive hand side, and it is coming to the equilibrium position. So it is having the maximum position, so it is coming to the equilibrium position in this condition, so it is having the x minus f by k, and when it is reached to the equilibrium position, now it is going to the another negative side, this side. So in this condition even we have the x minus f by k. Now it is moving up, so it is moving up, means going in this direction, so it is x plus f by k. Again it will be x plus f by k. So in this way we can have this response curve. Now the very important is that we need to notice that this response curve, means this response curve, half cycle of this response curve, you will get about SHM about x minus f by k equal to 0, and second half you will get the x plus f by k equal to 0. तो यहाँ से हम देख सकते हैं कि कुछ ना कुछ जो है यहाँ पर जो है एम्पलीट्यूड में डिके हुआ है. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ डिके इन द एम्पलीट्यूड दैट वी आर गोइंग टू सी. तो सबसे पहले अगर इसको मैं कॉमन सेंस से समझने की कोशिश करूँ तो बहुत ईजिली इसको निकाल सकते हैं. लाइक कि मान के चले कि सपोज दिस इज अ लाइन and this is a magnitude. Okay, this may be the magnitude, so I am representing here. So this is the magnitude which is 4, and it is a 4 and it is x equal to 0. Now I am saying that it is not the simple harmonic motion with respect to x, it is the simple harmonic motion with some other value, suppose x minus 1 equal to 0. So what will happen in this condition, now it will shift here, this x minus 1 equal to 0. Now if it is इन सिंपल हार्मोनिक मोशन विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस रेफरेंस, इसके रेफरेंस में है तो इतना ही इसके रेफरेंस में नीचे होना चाहिए, मतलब इतना ही ये नीचे होगा. आप समझ पा रहे हैं. इसके अबाउट था x इक्वल टू 0 के, तो दोनों साइड बराबर बराबर थे. अब x माइनस 1 बराबर 0 के है तो यहाँ से कहीं होगा, मीन्स ऊपर 3 बचा, तो इसके अबाउट अगर SHM है तो नीचे भी 3 होना चाहिए, तो नीचे भी 3 हो गया. तो अल्टीमेटली यहाँ डिके कितने का हुआ, यहाँ एम्पलीट्यूड था कितने 8, यहाँ एम्पलीट्यूड कितने का है 6, तो डिके कितने का हो गया, तो यहाँ डिके हो गया 2 का. इसका मतलब ये है कि यहाँ जो भी वैल्यू है उसका डबल. सो आई कैन से दैट if the value of here is f by k and f by k, so the double of this f by k is 2f by k. तो एक हाफ साइकिल में कितना हो गया 2f by k. इसी तरह से दूसरे हाफ साइकिल में कितना हो जाएगा, फिर से डीके हो जाएगा 2f by k, तो टोटल कितना हो गया, ये हो गया 4f by k. सो दिस इज वेरी सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट, यू कैन मेक द कंक्लूजन आउट ऑफ दिस. But if we want to derive it, so we can have it. So suppose this is the, this point is the G. Fine, this point is here, it is H. Okay, this point is say A, this point is A, and this point is C. Finally this point is A. You can name it randomly. So if we see AG, this AG, so it is equal to the CH, क्योंकि अभी मैंने बोला इसके अबाउट ये SHM है, मतलब इसके ऊपर का जो मैग्नीट्यूड होगा और इसके नीचे का जो मैग्नीट्यूड होगा वो सेम होगा. इसके अबाउट इस x माइनस एफ बाई के इक्वल टू 0 के अबाउट. अगर हम x के अबाउट देखेंगे तो ऐसा नहीं होगा, ये वाला ज़्यादा होगा ये कम होगा. हम x माइनस एफ बाई के इक्वल टू 0 के अबाउट देखेंगे तो ये मैग्नीट्यूड और ये मैग्नीट्यूड बराबर होंगे. और ये होगा कितना, तो अगर मैं मान लेता हूँ कि ये यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक का जो मैग्नीट्यूड है वो अगर XA है, तो ये मैग्नीट्यूड कितना होगा, XA में से इतना माइनस कर दीजिए f बाई के, तो ये कितना हो गया, सिंपली ये हो जाएगा कितना, XA माइनस एफ बाई के. अंडरस्टूड. सो इट इज़ वेरी सिंपल. नाउ इफ वी वांट टू सी द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस CK, so this CK would be nothing but the CH, this value, and minus KH or HK. So this CH is equal to XA minus F by K, and this HK would be this is the F by K and this is the F by K, so it is the 2F by K. So it is 2F by K. So ultimately it came XA minus 3F by K. So if we want to have the value of XC, if we want to have the value of XC, so how much it would be, so XC is from here to here. Okay, so it is nothing but the CK plus this value, so it is the value of CK plus this, and this is how much, it is F by K. Okay, so CK plus F by K, so it is ultimately XA, because CK is equal to XA minus 3F by K, so XA minus 3F by K plus F by K, so it is how much, XA minus 2F by K. So from here we can say that XC is equal to XA minus 2F by K, so we can write XA minus XC is equal to 2F by K. तो यहाँ से हम देख सकते हैं कि दोनों एम्पलीट्यूड XA और XC में जो डिके हुआ है, मतलब जो डिक्रीज हुआ है, वो कितने का हुआ है, 2F by K. इसी तरह से हम देख सकते हैं कि XC माइनस XE जो होगा वो भी कितना होगा, 2F by K. सो अल्टीमेटली फ्रॉम दिस इक्वेशन 1 and 2 वी कैन सी दैट XA माइनस XE जो होगा वो कितना होगा, 4F by K होगा. सो दिस इज द सिंपल लॉजिक टू कैलकुलेट द डिके ऑफ in the condition of the Coulomb damping. Now अब हम यहाँ से देख सकते हैं कि इस कंडीशन में जो डिके हो रहा है XA से XC में, ये टोटल कितने का हुआ, ये टोटल हुआ 4F by K. इस तरह से अगर मैं यहाँ भी निकालूंगा, ये वाला अगर होगा तो ये भी कितना होगा, 4F by K. तो हम यहाँ से क्या देख सकते हैं कि जो एम्पलीट्यूड जो डिक्रीज हो रहा है पर कंसेक्यूटिव साइकिल्स में, वो लीनियरली डिपेंड कर रहा है. ओके क्योंकि 4F/K 4F/K 4F इट इज़ ए लीनियर रिलेशन, इसीलिए इसका जो कर्व डेवलप होगा, ओके इसका जो एनवलप डेवलप होगा एम्पलीट्यूड को टच करते हुए, मैक्सिमम एम्पलीट्यूड को टच करते हुए, वो कैसा होगा, लीनियर होगा। सो इट वुड बी लीनियर। अब याद करें विस्कस डैम्पिंग के केस में जो था ये कैसा था, एक्सपोनेंशियल, लेकिन इसके केस में कैसा है, लीनियर। तो ये हमने डिराइव कर लिया। सो व्हाट आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, द इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट इज first of all the rate of decay. So rate of decay for half cycle it is 2F/K, for the full cycle it is 4F/K. The frequency क्या होगा इसका, तो frequency is simple, it is the natural frequency. तो अगर हम कंपेयर करना चाहेंगे किसके किसके केस में, कूलम्ब डैम्पिंग और विस्कस डैम्पिंग के केस में, तो कैसे कर सकते हैं। सबसे पहला कूलम्ब डैम्पिंग में जो डिके रेट है वो है 4F/K। विस्कस डैम्पिंग में जो डिके जो रेट था, ओके वो हम कैसे निकालते थे, e⁻⁻ पावर में हम निकालते थे। दूसरा इसका जो एनवलप है वो कैसा है, लीनियर। उसका कूलम्ब का कैसा था, सॉरी विस्कस का एनवलप कैसा था, वो था एक्सपोनेंशियल। तीसरा कूलम्ब का जो इस केस में, कूलम्ब के केस में जो फ्रीक्वेंसी वो क्या है, नेचुरल फ्रीक्वेंसी। उस केस में क्या थी, डैम्प्ड फ्रीक्वेंसी, जिसकी वैल्यू क्या थी, √1 माइनस ζ² इंटू ω/n। तो इस तरह से हम देख सकते हैं कि देर आर लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस बिटवीन द कूलम्ब डैम्पिंग एंड द विस्कस डैम्पिंग।
Thank you very much for listening.